Hello everybody, Auntie Ruth here, bringing you Bible stories for children the old-fashioned way. What is the Bible going to teach us today? We are in the book of Genesis and we are going to read chapter 39 verse 21 and 22. But the Lord was with Joseph and showed him mercy and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. And the keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners that were in the prison, and whatsoever they did there, he was the doer of it. Why? Oh, why is Joseph in prison? If you can remember, we ended our story where Joseph was taken to Egypt by the Ishmaelites, and his brothers and Reuben told a lie to his father and said that he was dead. And that is where we ended, where Jacob was so sorrowful because Joseph's colorful coat was full of the blood of a kid, and he thought Joseph had been eaten up by a wild animal. Well, the Ishmaelites took Joseph all the way to Egypt. The Bible tells us that Joseph was 17 years old when this happened. He was terribly sorrowful and heartbroken and didn't know why his brothers would do such a terrible thing as to sell him to strangers. Well, the Bible tells us that when the Ishmaelites got to Egypt, they sold Joseph to Potiphar. Now, Potiphar was the captain of the guard of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. So Potiphar was a very important man, and Joseph was going to be his servant and his slave. He needed a young man, a strong, healthy young man around the palace to help him organize things, clean up things, fix things, well, whatever he needed him to do. The Bible says that Joseph did his job so well, and that God was with Joseph and helped him and looked after him so much that Potiphar put Joseph in charge of his whole household. That means Joseph was in charge of all the other servants, anybody else that worked in the house. He organized what they ate. He organized how things were bought and sold. He organized who came into the house. Potiphar trusted him so much that Potiphar left everything in his hands. Do you know what the Bible says? The Bible says that Potiphar left everything in the hands of Joseph except the bread he ate. Potiphar himself, he just sat back and got a plate of food in front of him because Joseph organized everything so well and God was so with Joseph. Do you know what else the Bible says? The Bible says that God's blessing was so much upon Joseph that the whole house of Potiphar was blessed and looked after and prosperous because of Joseph. Because of Joseph, that is Jacob and Rachel's son that was sold into Egypt, and his father thinks he's dead. Well, Potiphar's wife spotted Joseph, young, healthy, handsome, hard-working, in her house, and she thought she liked him. She thought he was rather good looking. And do you know what that wicked woman did? She said to Joseph, come to my bedroom. My husband is not here." Joseph got a terrible fright. He can't do a terribly wicked thing like that. To go to another man's wife's bedroom? "That," he said to her, "I cannot do a thing like that against my master. He has put me in charge of this whole house. I cannot sin against God," said Joseph. But Potiphar's wicked wife would not leave Joseph alone. And one day, when she saw there was nobody else in the whole house, she grabbed Joseph's cloak. Joseph ran out of the house and ran away. But she told everybody that Joseph came into her bedroom and was with her, and that her husband was not there to protect her. When Potiphar came home and his wife told him this lie, he was very angry with Joseph. He believed his wife, and he threw Joseph into prison. Oh, poor Joseph did nothing wrong to be in prison, but there he was. Would you know what the Bible says? The prison keeper, that's the person who looked after the prisoners, he liked Joseph so much that he put Joseph in charge of all the prisoners. And remember what we read in the Bible, that God was with Joseph and showed mercy to Joseph. And soon the innkeeper was sitting back with his feet up, if you please, and Joseph was running the whole prison, in charge of everybody, telling them where to go, what to do, when to eat, everything. The prison keeper had no more worries. Oh well, Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, he also got a bit fed up with some of his servants. The Bible says that there came a day when Pharaoh took his butler and his baker, of whom he was very cross, and threw them into prison. The Bible doesn't tell us what they did wrong, but he was the king and he could do with them what he liked. So, of course, Joseph was there, and Joseph had to see to them. One night, the butler dreamt a dream. He dreamt that he saw 3 branches of grapevines, and the grapes were on the vines, all ready and pretty and juicy and delicious. And he dreamt that he took the grapes and squeezed them till the juice came out into a cup, and he took the cup and gave it to Pharaoh. He didn't know what to think of the dream, so he told Joseph about his dream. Do you know what Joseph answered him? Joseph said, "The interpretations of dreams belong to God, belong to the Lord. Tell me your dream. I will see if God can tell me what it means." Well, the butler did, about the 3 branches, and the grapes, and the squeezing into the cup. Joseph said, "This is what your dream means. In 3 days' time, Pharaoh will come and fetch you and restore you out of prison. You will go back to the palace, and you will be the butler once more, and you will serve Pharaoh." "Yes, Your Majesty," you will say to Pharaoh. The baker also had a dream. He was feeling quite excited now, because he heard the interpretation of the butler's dream. So he said to Joseph, "I also had a dream." And he told Joseph, "I dreamt that I saw 3 baskets of breads and pastries on my head. 1, 2, 3. And in the top basket were breads and delicious pastries that I had baked. And I saw in my dream the birds come and eat the bread from the top basket. What does my dream mean? Joseph said, the 3 baskets are also 3 days. In 3 days' time, Pharaoh, the king, will come and fetch you, and then he will have you killed and hanged, and the birds will come and peck your flesh. What a terrible interpretation. Well, the Bible says that in 3 days' time it was Pharaoh's birthday, and he did come and fetch the butler, and he did come and fetch the baker, and the baker was killed and hung, just like Joseph had interpreted his dream, and the birds came and pecked his flesh. The butler, however, was reinstated in his position. Thank you, Your Majesty. And he carried on, serving grape juice to Pharaoh. When the butler and the baker left the prison, Joseph said, please don't forget me. I am here in prison and I have done nothing wrong. When you are back with the Pharaoh, don't forget to mention my name, Joseph. And do you know what the Bible says? It says the butler forgot about Joseph. Here is a picture of the baker and the butler in prison, and Joseph telling them their dream. A good dream for one, and a bad dream for another. Of course, the baker could do nothing, he was dead. But the butler forgot about Joseph until one day, 2 years later, the Pharaoh had a very disturbing dream. I wonder if the butler will remember Joseph. We will have to wait and see until next time. For now, we have to leave Joseph in prison. Now, I have a song for you, an old song, because all Auntie Ruth's songs are old. And I was thinking we could have a look at the pictures of the story of Joseph from the beginning while I sing the song. Are you ready? The song goes like this. In the Stasi's handiwork I see, on the wind he speaks with majesty, though he ruleth over land and sea. What is that to me? I will celebrate nativity, for it has a place in history. Sure, he came to set his people free. What is that to me? Till by faith I met him face to face, and I saw the wonders of his grace, and I knew that he was more than just a God who didn't care, who lived out way out there, and now he walks beside me day by day, ever watching all me least I stray, helping me to find that narrow way is everything to me. That was a high song. All right, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and God is watching over you. Bye-bye, precious jewels. Bye-bye.